It's got oats and corns and wheat. It's the sweetest breakfast treat.
It's maple, maple, maple-licious.
Welcome back, everyone, to S1E1, a show where each week we pick a different sitcom, watch just the first televised episode, and forgetting anything we might know about the future run of that show, rate it and decide if it's a show we want to greenlight or cancel. This week we're going to be talking about 2.5 Men. 2.5 Men went 262 episodes over 12 seasons on CBS. Today we're talking about episode 1, which was called Pilot, originally airing September 22nd, 2003. To get things started, I'm Jay Gags. With me, as always, the boys, Joe, Ferg, Nick, and Gordo. What's going on, guys?
Heyo.
Hey.
I like my sheets.
So,
I was thinking about there was a time when I met my wife. That was a hard word to say for some reason. When I met my wife, I lived on a futon and I didn't own sheets, and I had a comforter as my sheets and another comforter to sleep on. I had like a comforter sandwich. The idea of bringing sheets to some place is just very weird to me.
yeah, I'm not a big sheets guy today. I still very much sleep like the bachelor that I am, and I just have a comforter and a fitted sheet. That's it.
I have like 10,000 sheets and blankets.
Yeah, we have a lot of sheets and blankets.
I
and duvets.
I like to sleep cold, and I don't like to be like over covered. Anyways, just to start off though, 2.5 Men. Nick, this was your pick. Any particular reason for picking this one?
I always enjoyed the show, but I couldn't remember if I had actually seen the first episode. And it turns out I did. I didn't really remember it, but I definitely had seen it before. And it was a very heavily syndicated show.
This is a show I've seen a lot of, but I never really watched it as it was happening weekly or anything like that.
I also didn't realize that it started way back in 2003. I thought it was newer than that.
I actually used to watch it religiously.
But yeah, it's just always on. I remember my dad really liked it, and it was just it was one of those shows you'd catch on TV like while you're scrolling or whatever. You'd end up getting sucked into a few episodes just because I don't know. I always thought it was a fun watch.
Oh, and then you had the whole Charlie Sheen thing that happened, the winning, which like also pumped that show.
That show pumped him.
So Charlie Sheen, this show returns Charlie Sheen to really being in the limelight again. Then he has kind of this very public, explosive meltdown of sorts, tiger blood, winning, all that stuff, separates from the show, well into it, by what, the 8th or 9th season. I can't remember exactly when. And then that's when they get Ashton Kutcher to come in for almost 100 episodes on the back end, a little less than. I think he did 80 something.
That's when it becomes unwatchable.
It becomes too shows. And I mean, obviously, we're not going to delve too much into the future of the show because we're just doing the pilot episode. But the show is one of those ones that had a monster run. But when you look at 12 seasons, 200 and something episodes, you almost wonder would it be remembered better if it ended with Charlie Sheen and just kind of had that run be more
in my
isolated?
mind, and I think in a lot of people's minds, it did end with Charlie Sheen.
But obviously, that's all going way ahead in the show. A huge show, gigantic fan base, and a mega show. And I think we've all, to some degree, watched some of it. I want to go over a couple numbers. IMDb 7.1, Rotten Tomatoes 65%, audience score 66%, which is a little lower than I expected. But again, I think that's because that's the culmination of 12 seasons. I think if the show had ended much sooner, I think that score is a little higher.
It's definitely not like a GOAT show, greatest of all time either. It's a good show. It's just a step behind the best. So maybe that's why, but
it's a solid B show. You have your A shows.
I would even give it more than that, but
no. You have your A's, your, Offices and Seinfeld, Simpsons, and then you have shows like this.
I put this up with those.
Would you really?
Yeah, this had a huge fan base.
I loved it when it was on.
I just think the fact that, again, we're getting very ahead, but the fact that you went 4 additional seasons post Charlie Sheen, I think changes how the show is remembered long term, because a lot of people, myself included, I never watched a full Ashton Kutcher episode to this day. I think a lot of people dropped off. So I think when you have any type of show that, 12 seasons, but most people kicked off after 8, you don't remember it the same way because all the big shows that are remembered forever, people watch start to finish, you know what I mean? And finish the show properly. So when you have that kind of a drop off and the show's continuing on and people aren't really watching it the same anymore, like it's going to change how you remember it.
It's interesting too, because usually that's death, right? Like usually you change that big of a component to an episode, a series. Like that's one season and it's dead. The fact that it went 4 seasons is pretty crazy.
By the way, if you want to watch this show, it's available on Peacock, so you can go ahead and watch it there if you want to watch along. And this is another Chuck Lorre created show. This was like a co-collab show, like him and Lee. I'm not going to pronounce this guy's last name right.
Iacocca.
I think it's Aronsohn.
So the two of them co-created the show, but Chuck Lorre is like a god in sitcom world. Just shows that he's created that we have already covered on S1E1 are Grace Under Fire, Big Bang Theory, Mike and Molly, Mom, and Bob Hardshaw Bishola. And with that being said, and now with adding 2.5 Men, there are still 8 more Chuck Lorre created shows we have not covered.
He also was a writer on Heathcliff, the superior Orange Cat show. So
Shut up.
I love me some Chuck Lorre.
Shut up.
He wrote the theme song.
You're the theme song for this too. He's like weirdly multi-talented.
Yeah, he wrote the Ninja Turtles theme
Yeah,
song.
I was going to say,
too.
Ferg, you brought up that in the past, the Ninja Turtles theme, which is like classic. He did write this theme. He's done other music stuff. But yeah, Chuck Lorre is just
Renaissance man.
Before we get into like the meat of the episode, I wanted to talk about something because it's not really like a point of the episode. It's just something I noticed. Is there another sitcom that we've done, or just that you can think of, that has the set built this way where half of it is looking at the fourth wall, where when they're outside and you can see into Charlie's place, you can see where the fourth wall is, where the audience is when they're inside. So that has to be 2 separate sets, but the inside has to be built like the first set. So it's kind of like a replica, but not, because they don't, you know what I mean? And I can't think of another show that does it like that.
Is it a studio audience?
for sure.
Yes.
I feel like it was, yeah. If not a canned studio
And even if
audience
it
in there.
wasn't, though, it is still shot on like a typical like multicam, so it wouldn't be contained like that.
If what Ferg's saying is, if it's not, then they can just put up that wall and shoot from the other side, right?
Yeah.
So maybe not, but if it is studio audience, then I don't see how that would work.
No, but I would say also that is it is so far away, like that perspective shot, that you could just have one dummy wall. It's probably a completely different set. So it's probably just a dummy wall to look like the interior, and they're probably 2 completely different setups, you know? You're not physically on the other side of the same window. It's probably a completely different set and perspective.
And one thing I want to bring up really quick too is just before we start is the genius of taking people like this cast, right? Like you've got a Brat Pack person and a Brat Pack adjacent person, and like the smart move of being like, hey, all these people who loved these people when they were teenagers are now adults, and we're going to make a show with them at the same point in life they'll be in now. Like it builds an audience so easily, and obviously succeeded, right? We're like, I love Jon Cryer, but he was not doing a ton of stuff at this point, right? We're like, everyone knew him from, I guess, mostly Pretty in Pink. I was
going to say, I think Ducky, everyone
Ducky,
remembers him as
I
Ducky.
love dudes, but like, I love Superman 4 too, the worst Superman of all time, the canon film Superman.
I mean, he was also, yeah, I mean,
He's Lex Luthor now in CW.
He is in Hot Shots with Charlie Sheen, yeah.
yeah.
Just the sequel, though, right? I think Jon Cryer's just in the sequel.
Hot Shots Part 2.
Is he just
Yeah.
in the? It's been a while. I have to go back.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking for a while already, and we haven't even started to scratch the surface on the show, so I want to get into it. First scene, we see Charlie, who plays Charlie Sheen, plays Charlie in this. And then I don't know if you guys read this, and so Charlie's name on this show is Charlie Harper. Now, the theory was, it said that Chuck Lorre is a huge fan of the UK subs, and that is the name of the singer of the UK subs.
Yeah, they just finally retired. Charlie Harper is like 82 or something. He just retired finally, but I did not see that. But that makes me love Chuck Lorre even more.
Allegedly, that is. I tried to find more. Like I read it and I tried finding more articles to support it and couldn't. But I read it and I hope it to be true. Otherwise, someone's starting a really cool rumor.
And if anyone out there doesn't know who the UK subs are, I would suggest starting with the song Warhead. and then Another Kind of Blues, the album, but anything they did was great.
Charlie is in his room with a woman named Laura, and she's like holding up some lingerie, and she's like, what do you think? He's like, wow, it's for you, right? It's for both of us. And then she's like, don't go away. And she like heads into the bathroom to get changed. Have we had the lingerie conversation in the past?
We have, yeah.
Where it's like, it's perceived that it's for guys, but it's really for girls because it makes them feel better. But like guys don't actually care nearly as much as the girls want to think they do.
Oh, you just want that off.
Yeah, guys basically turn into like the Tasmanian devil. It's like, they don't care about like the lace or whatever. Like, oh, you've got doilies on. Cool. It's a very sweet gesture, but.
Oh, wow, you looked really good walking in. Now get naked.
Yeah, now take it off. So, so Laura heads into the bathroom to get changed. And when she does, Charlie starts undressing. I like that first he like kicks his shoes way into the air as he's like taking the shoes off. He's getting undressed, drops his pants. Phone starts to ring. You hear his answering machine pick up the call, and it's some girl, and she's leaving a message. And he starts like darting to the phone. He does this like funny like waddle walk with his pants around his ankles, trying to stop the message from playing.
It's a fun gag, right? Like it's tough to run like that. But those are loose pants. Those would have come off much easier.
Well, they were around his ankles, and he suddenly had to run. So that's like what happened. So he's running. He takes a face plant, and you hear the message, and it's some girl saying like, "Listen, you lousy SOB. I will not be treated like this. Either you call me, or you are going to be very, very sorry. I love you, monkey man." And then the girl like pops out Laura from the bed. She's like, Charlie, who is that? Telemarketer it is? A telemarketer that calls you monkey man? Like, yeah, I'm on a weird list.
I mean, it's possible. What if it was, what were those Zoo magazines when we were kids?
Zoo books.
The Zoo books, yeah. What if it was the Zoo book person being like, hi, monkey man, your subscription for Zoo books is up. Would you like to renew?
I don't know. I still haven't got my dinosaur special edition one that they promised.
They're definitely in a warehouse somewhere where they're just like, they're in like the Indiana Jones warehouse in a crate.
Right next to the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
But he does come clean. He's like, listen, I went out with this girl once. She got really clingy. And then Laura's like, oh, you're a bad, bad boy. Because girls love a guy that other girls like.
That's true.
It is.
Just the idea that like, oh, is that another girl on the phone? As a matter of fact, yes, this girl's obsessed with me. And then she's like, oh, nice. Like that actually entices her even more.
And we find out there's multiple.
With Charlie?
Yeah. There's Rose, and then there's the girl he's with, and then there's a girl on the phone.
The girl on the phone is Rose.
Oh, that's Rose on the phone? I thought that was a third.
Yeah, she calls him Monkey Man. And then she calls him Monkey Man like later.
Oh, you're right.
Although I could understand not making that connection.
I mean, at this point, we don't know.
We don't see it yet, but we will as we continue forward. The two of them start to like make out. Phone rings again. We hear, hey, Charlie, it's Alan, your brother. No big deal. Just wanted to touch base. My wife threw me out and I'm kind of losing it and my will to live. So when you get a chance, I'd love to, I don't know. And then Charlie actually picks up the phone. He's like, hey, sorry to hear about that. And like, so, are you going to go to a hotel? And then he's like, oh, I mean, I guess you could stay here. He's like, all right. And he hangs up the phone. So now we find out Alan's going to come by and stay with Charlie for the night. So him and Laura like, we better hurry. So now they like jump into bed to like get to the sex. And maybe 0.5 seconds passes and Alan opens the door to the bedroom.
He's calling from inside the house.
Yeah, he was already there when he called.
I will say, though, it does set up that Charlie is a good brother and a good person and cares because he does pick up the phone and does say yes.
I feel like the Charlie we get later in the series, not that I know this, but wouldn't have answered.
And I think what we're seeing here too with like Alan's character, like walking straight into the bedroom, I think actually you see a lot of his character right off the bat, you know, like without even hearing a lot about him, you're already kind of getting a vibe for who he is.
Yeah.
Uptight, definitely neurotic a little bit.
He walks in and is like, is she staying over? Because I might have parked behind her. After that, we get the intro to the show. I don't know if this is a shortened version because it was a syndicated run copy or because it was like a DVD. Because I don't remember if episode 1 in original format had a full intro or not. So it's tough to say because this is a shorter version of what I'm used to.
I don't think they had that. The one with them in like front of the stage, you mean?
like the singing and it's a slightly longer version of the theme song.
Yeah, I don't think they had it yet.
Next scene, we're flashing forward like just a little bit, and we see Alan's talking to Charlie in the living room. First time we're seeing Charlie's house. We don't know much about Charlie yet, but you can now tell that he's loaded. Even for sitcom standards, this is a beautiful, very kind of akin to the Frasier house, actually, a little bit.
It's like if the Frasier apartment was on a beach in Malibu.
Okay, this is a whole house. Frasier's is just an apartment.
Yeah.
Right, but it's a huge apartment.
But what you're seeing, that open layout, it's almost like exactly the same layout wise. It's the decor is different, but the layout, the only difference, you're thinking the fact that he's on the beach. But if you subtract that, where his porch was and everything else, it's very similar layout.
It's an open concept. There's no walls. There's no doors. Everything leads into the other room.
But regardless, the two of them are talking, and Alan's just kind of ranting about like how they've been together for 12 years, and she's throwing him out. What happened to tilt that to his part? And as he's going on, Charlie's just like looking at him. He's like, how did you get into my house? And he's like, Charlie, the key in the fake rock only works if there's other rocks. He's like, if there's just one rock sitting on a welcome mat, you could figure it out. And then he goes back and says, yeah, but if you put a fake rock in a bunch of other rocks, how are you going to find it when you're drunk?
They both have valid points.
I really appreciate that point because some time in my life would have been like, I won't be able to find it. I'll be too drunk when I come home. Like, I totally get that. That time of my life is still happening now.
When they're going back and forth, and Alan's saying like, I'm a good husband, I'm faithful, and Charlie replies with, is she what? Faithful. And he just goes he doesn't even know how to answer. Like, just the thought of like, was she not faithful? Because you don't think about that sometimes in the moment until I guess after the fact. I really like what we're seeing from Jon Cryer, like as far as like him being in this role. He's like perfect for this role.
He really is. He plays this role perfectly.
And it's like crazy because he's famous from other things, but you're able to see him as a new character. That's range.
That's a testament to him as an actor.
Whereas I would say Charlie Sheen feels like I'm watching Charlie Sheen in the show.
Yeah.
It's really,
and you can say that about everything Charlie Sheen.
Yes, but luckily they kind of give him a character that works for that. It's not like he doesn't have to show like incredible range to play Charlie. For Charlie to be Charlie isn't like a big stretch.
It was kind of wild. I mean, he was getting like $1 million an episode by the end of this, right? Like he was making tons of money. He doesn't have to work ever again if he doesn't want to. But I like looked him up and I was like, what's Charlie Sheen been up to lately? The last movie I can remember is him in that Whoopi Goldberg 9/11 movie. And I looked up his IMDb and it's like his last movie is that Whoopi Goldberg 9/11 movie. His last moment on screen is him hugging a firefighter's hand when they die while the towers collapse in an elevator shaft. What the fuck?
He started working on another Chuck Lorre show called Bookie. Sebastian Maniscalco stars in.
Well, like recently?
Yeah.
They buried the hatchet because they hated each other.
Yeah, they kind of like got back together a few years ago and kind of rekindled a friendship.
I think once Charlie Sheen got sober, he I think part of that is making amends.
From what I read, Chuck Lorre, like when enough time passed that he felt Charlie's in a good enough place, he reached out.
You think there's hope for Chevy?
No. Seems like the whole world hates Chevy.
Except for me. I love you, Chevy.
I love you, Chevy, too. I just want him to be in the Community movie.
I just want him to not be a dickhead. Just stop being a dickhead.
I think, though, that relationship, him and that creator, I think that's poison forever. I don't think that's ever gonna...
Well, that's what I thought about Chuck Lorre and Charlie, and apparently that's not the case.
I think the thing is, though, is that, like, Chevy and... I forget his name, who created Community, but, like, those were personality conflicts that were not raised around substance abuse. Whereas, like, with Charlie's, he comes back, he's like, I'm really sorry I was a shithead. I was drunk and doing drugs. And you can be
and there was like a friendship that existed before, like they were on great terms. They were friends and it deteriorated with time. Whereas I think with like someone like Chevy in a show like Community, like they hired him because of, who he is and like what he does comedically, but there wasn't like a bond there. He was just like a hired gun.
But he's still a hero and he's still the best.
To get back into this conversation after the whole, like, was your wife faithful? He's like, don't be ridiculous. This is important for later in the show. He's like, Judith doesn't even like sex. She kept saying how she always felt suffocated, and she keeps going on and on. I'm suffocating. He's like, what does that even mean? Like, do women ever tell you that they feel suffocated? He's like, well, yeah, but not women who don't like sex.
That's a good joke.
That was a good joke.
That's a good joke.
And then Alan's saying, this is going to destroy Jake. And Charlie's like, Jake? Like, my son? Oh, yeah. Like, teenagers are pretty sophisticated these days. He's 10. Oh. So I guess you're learning, like, even though they're brothers, they must not have much of a, like, consistent relationship where they see each other too often, because this is his nephew and he doesn't even really, he couldn't even remember him by name at first and then had no idea how old he was.
I feel like it's because the wife hates Charlie, but I don't know.
And he hates the wife, right? So probably like they keep distance, and Charlie just like goes to a thing, and he gets loaded because he can't stand her, and then it all sort of washes away in his brain.
Right around this point, Laura walks out from Charlie's room, and she's dressed again, and she's like, "Hey, listen, I gotta go. You two need to talk, and I'll talk to you tomorrow." She looks over at Alan. She's like, "Hey, and I'm sorry to hear about your wife." And Charlie's like, "Well, you don't have to leave. Like, you leaving isn't gonna bring them back together."
The last resort plea is always fun.
Yeah.
Well, she leaves, and it's just the two of them talking, and he's like, I just need to stay for a couple days while I work everything out until Laura comes back to her senses. Not Laura, what's his wife? Judith. Till Judith comes back to her senses. He's like, all right, you can stay in the guest room, and he's like, I'll grab some sheets. And that's when he's like, oh, you don't need to, I brought my own. You brought your own sheets? I like my sheets.
I mean, if you like your sheets, like, go for it.
I could see, and not that anyone would ever travel with their mattress, but I could see being like, man, I miss my mattress, but I've never been like, I miss my sheets. But also I've said, I sleep like a caveman. I've never purchased
those high-end linen, like Egyptian cotton sheets. I don't know if you guys have, but...
Bread count?
Yeah.
I mean, we buy nice sheets. We don't buy like $100 sheets.
I think like once ever I ever like when I was younger and thought that mattered, I was like, oh, I'm going to get like a nicer set of sheets. And come to find out, just because the way I like to sleep, I'm like, this actually means nothing to me. I don't care about this. I would rather just have a comforter like draped over half of my body while I sleep.
I feel like the pillow is the most important thing. I would take my pillow before I took my sheets.
My wife has so many pillows that she tries because like her neck hurts, or like, one pillow won't work after a while. So like my closet is just like growing of like regular pillows, and then
you can throw the ones away that you don't use.
No, because they all cost so much money that she purchases. We can't.
You're not using them. You're storing them in a closet.
You're not using them. It's lost money anyway.
Give them to a nice homeless guy who's got no pillow.
Make a pillow person.
Could make a pillow fort.
When I was I've always wondered. I like a cold pillow. You know what I mean? So like I hate when pillows get too warm. But I've always wondered about like getting like a nicer I have a Tempur-Pedic bed. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to get like one of those memory foam pillows.
I've thought about getting one too, yeah.
But like they're expensive.
I don't like them. I tried it. I didn't do it. Yeah.
I have one. I don't use it. I throw it at the end of the bed.
My fear was that they would get too warm for me, like too quick. Like I feel like
that's not an issue.
Really? Okay.
It just feels like you're drowning in oatmeal.
They're not comfortable.
No. Okay. No, the superior pillows are like
what kind
the memory.
Of pillow did Joe use?
Oatmeal pillow.
Quaker Oats brand pillow.
Why are you jerking off your arm as you're telling this story?
The stuffing, because I'm trying to think of the stuffing in the pillows. You get like the memory.
It's not sign language for stuffing, just so you know. I don't know what that is.
Stuffing, because it comes with extra stuffing, and you put them in the pillow. I was trying to keep that.
I could see Gordon one of those like gorillas in the mist scenarios where you're trying to explain to a wild gorilla what stuffing in a pillow means, and he keeps doing this, and then it goes terribly wrong for him at the end of that story.
You don't have to mimic it. You could just say they give you more stuffing to put in the pillow. We would understand what that means. You guys kept talking,
and I have to keep my train of thought, so I just
jack my wrists off. I get it.
Was this in your notes, Gordon? Did you put the make jerk off motion on my wrist in your notes?
No, I didn't think that pillows were going to come up.
A little pillow talk.
That's what we call our episodes where we do like the off-air pillow talk.
But I've had a million over the years, and for me, like the best is just an old feather pillow. Like that's what I sleep the best on. They stay cool, and you sink into them.
So there's only a little bit left in this scene, but I think it's important to bring up just because there is a ton of exposition in it. So as Charlie's about to go to bed, Alan's like, no, wait, we never really talked. Let's catch up. He's like, what do you want to talk about? He's like, I don't know. I was named Chiropractor of the Year by the San Fernando Valley Chiropractic Association. Like, all right. good night. He's like, no. He's like, what about you? And then Chad's like, well, Alan, there's not much to say. I make a lot of money for doing very little work. I sleep with beautiful women who don't ask about my feelings. I drive a Jag. I live at the beach. And sometimes in the middle of the day, for no reason at all, I like to make myself a big pitcher of margaritas and take a nap out on the sun deck. So I think right here was like by them catching up was a good way for them to tell us a little bit about the two of them.
Yeah, and what Charlie's day-to-day is, which sounds...
We don't know his job yet. We kind of find out later, like unofficially kind of find out. But yes, we get a vibe for at least what his job affords him. So now the two go to bed. When the lights turn off as they both go to their respective beds, like the camera pans over. So like it was mentioned earlier, like the whole backdrop of the apartment is a giant window that oversees the beach. At the window of the porch, you see this girl just up against the glass. And she's like, good night, monkey man, like from outside. That girl, we come to find out later in the episode, is Rose, and she's played by Melanie Lynskey, who I would say best known as Beth from Detroit Rock City.
I just lost my virginity in a confessional booth. Hallelujah. Is it Lord have mercy? I forget. But yeah.
When Detroit Rock City came out, I had a mega crush on her when that movie came out.
I fucking love that movie. And this is a pro Ace Frehley podcast, Gordo. I'm sorry to say.
Not.
Aside from you, Detroit Rock City is the fucking funniest movie. I think of that line where it goes, Satan, Santa, the same letters, same fucking guy, like once a week.
And then clever that they named her Beth because she was with the drummer.
Right.
And Beth was one of the few songs that was like a Peter Criss song.
Well, he's got a few songs on every album, but then he throws the drum to jam, catches the guitar, the drumstick at the end, right?
Yeah, but they purposely named like all the love interests to like match the person in the band of the instrument. You know what I mean?
Is there a Christine 16 in there? I think there might be.
I believe that one of the girls was Christine.
Yeah.
Another thing about Melanie Lynskey is she's from New Zealand, and I had no idea until pretty recently.
It's always mind-blowing because any one of us tries to do any accent on this ever, and we're like, oh, it sounds so fucking bad. You hear these people who just like, you'd never fucking know.
Seamlessly, would never. I've been aware of her, like I mentioned Detroit Rock City for the better part of 20-something years, and recently found out that she does not have an American accent at all, and she just does them very well on television.
For me, it's when a British person does like a Southern American accent. That's when it blows my mind. Like what's his name from The Walking Dead? Was it Andrew Lincoln?
Oh yeah.
Because doing a Southern accent's hard to do without sounding like you're trying to do like Yosemite Sam or something. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to do, or like not Yosemite Sam. Who's I say Foghorn Leghorn. Thank you. I feel like we all fall into Foghorn.
Well, I think the thing is too, when you think about like different parts of the South too, all have their own like draws and inflections that are different. So like if you really want to do one properly, you have to zero in on a specific area and learn how to do it. Just like if someone from the South was to try to do like a Northern accent, you know, but like a Boston versus New York, you know, like they're different.
Also, it makes no fucking sense. America is only 2,000 miles long, and there are so many different accents. It's fucking crazy.
It's a melting pot.
To be fair, look at how small England is in comparison and how many different accents there are there.
I guess, sure. Somebody from Liverpool sounds different than someone from Manchester, yeah.
Or Cockney.
And there's like the Cockney accent.
Yeah. We all went to Cockney because of the word cock.
That's not why I did
No.
it. It's just a more pronounced one, but sure.
We all said it.
I think it's because it's the most distinct.
A Cockney accent is like very like it's a far cry from the more like regal. It's the furthest
it's not
departure.
Posh, yeah.
It's like the Southie of English accents.
Woof.
The iceberg right ahead.
Iceberg. What is happening on the boat right now? You take your submarine down for what reason?
Next scene, it's the next morning, and Charlie wakes up and he sees his nephew Jake standing over him. And he's like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, my mom brought me. Will you take me swimming in the ocean? He's like, can we talk about that when my head's done exploding? Why is your head exploding? Like, I drank a little too much wine last night. Like, if it makes you feel bad, why do you drink it? It's like, nobody likes a wise ass.
I was waiting for him to be like, I was watching that, and then like my wife had walked in right after this, and I was like, real guy shouldn't walk in while that's scene.
Good crowd pop for that too. It is kind of the age-old question, but
I was going to say, it is one of those things, though, that you think about anytime you feel bad from drinking. You're like, well, I felt great while I was doing it, but I feel terrible now. Will I do it again later? Probably.
Joe's solution was never stopping, so he doesn't ever feel that way.
Yeah, I'm constantly just in a weird flexy buzz. It's pretty good. Actually, tonight, I made a conscious effort, since this is a very big episode, that I was not going to drink during the episode.
Ooh. Here's my cup of mystery liquid. It's not like he holds up a cup like it was a branded, like you can see him drinking Polar or a Pepsi or something.
There's 3 X's on it.
Yeah, like there's no way to know there could be a straight jug of moonshine for all we know.
You'd know.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, you've known. There have been episodes before where I'm like, I go to bed and I'm like,
Go back and listen to our Cheers episode.
that one, though, was a concerted effort to get drunk on the recording.
By the end, you're like, hey, am I cheating?
Yeah, I was like, we're doing Cheers. I have to pretend I'm at a bar drinking as much as these people do. Even those people all weigh 400 pounds more than me. I will try to keep up. And it worked. I've never listened back. I'm sure it's not good.
Back to this conversation. When Charlie calls Jake a wise ass, Jake's like, you owe me $1 now for the swear jar. And he goes, and he gives him a 20. He's like, that should cover me till lunch. You guys ever do that? Like have kids around that like have the swear jars and stuff like that?
No.
I never have.
No.
My niece has always had like a version of the swear jar, but if we're like at my papa's house, like he like will find like literally do the same thing. Like he'll literally just hand her a 5 and just he won't do anything too aggressive. They'll swear later on, but he'll just say like bullshit like 5 times in front of her and hand her a 5.
I find that's gonna be an interesting thing as my kid gets older, because I feel like I swear very consistently, and that's gonna be a weird thing. And now that we're getting to a point where she starts repeating things, it's like, oh shit.
We never had a swear jar. My mother never swore around me. I fucking talk like a sailor, so it doesn't help.
When I was a kid, yeah, I mean, my parents swore, but I knew not to swear in the house until I got to a certain age, and then that stuff kind of wears off as you become an adult.
Yeah.
It's weird. We've had the conversation in the past. Like swears to me are so weird, unless they're like bad words that have like hateful connotation attached to them. But like a word like fuck, right? What does that mean? Like, what is it? Like, who decided that word's bad? Like, what's so bad about that word?
I mean, this is basically just like 40 years of George Carlin, right? Being like, words are words.
We just grew up, like, at some point it was decided, like, this is the worst of all words. Like, you may never say the F word.
It's just a noise at the end of the day.
Yeah, just a collection of sounds like any other word. It doesn't have any distinct, like, doesn't aim at any race or gender or, like, anything. Like, it's really not bad.
Yeah, it doesn't punch down, right? Like, I get being like, if something punches down, never say it. Like, that makes sense. But
yeah, it's totally different.
It's such a versatile word, too. It can be a verb, it can be a noun.
You know what I find odd? Like cunt in America is very bad.
Yes.
Go to the worst one, huh?
Yeah.
But in Europe and London, in England, rather, like, that's just like...
That's the thing. We've covered our share of, like, shows from England, and it's just, like, it's nothing. It's, like, that word's thrown around really
like
loosely.
fuck. It's their fuck. It's
well,
like...
No.
No. It's... Fuck is... they know it's not a good word. It's not proper. It's not the King's English.
Right, but they do use fuck there, too. But it is more of, like, a more...
It's not meant with as much, like, gusto. Like, it's not meant to be offensive, so it inherently is less offensive.
And fanny means vagina there.
It's kind of like how we call people dicks, I guess, which, I mean, a weird juxtaposition, too, just by meanings. But I guess that would be an equivalent. I'm trying to think of, like, the cunt equivalent, and I can't really think of it.
You know what word? Like fart.
Moving right along. So now we cut to the living room where we see Alan, and he's talking to his wife, Judith, who now we're seeing for the first time. And he's sitting with her, and he's like, I just think we need to make a list. And on one side, you could write, all the things you like about our marriage. And on the other side, like, things that you don't. And she goes, Alan, sometimes when I think about coming home to you, I start crying in my car. And he goes, all right, we'll put that on the don't side.
His response is very, very funny here, but, like, that's when he should have the moment where he's like, so this relationship is over, right? If your significant other ever says that, like, it's done. There's probably no fixing that.
I mean, obviously, when you're married to the person, I mean, even if you were just dating someone, if you ever heard any person that you're with say that to you, that's the most soul-crushing thing that I think someone could tell you. Like, just the thought of seeing you makes me weep. You make me so unhappy with my life.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get out from.
I'm waiting for it.
To be fair, and not to go ahead, but it doesn't really matter. She does upgrade to Ryan Stiles at one point.
He's the
and,
best character on the show,
yeah,
too.
fucking love it, yeah.
No offense, Jon Cryer. No offense, but that's an upgrade.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He upgrades to Colin Mockery at one point, and it really changes the season.
So from there, Charlie and Jake start to walk down from where Charlie's room is. And Judith's like, for God's sake, like, could you put some pants on? And I'm thinking, who the fuck are you? You're in his house. Like,
yeah, right? I'd be like, go eat a bag of dicks,
and he's
dude.
not
This is
like,
my house.
by the way, like he's not walking around in like briefs. He's wearing like like loose boxes that could easily be shorts.
The shorts I go to sleep in every night are shorter than his boxer shorts.
Sure, and he's just home with his brother and his nephew in his house. And she like, he didn't invite her over.
I'm a little bummed we don't get Berta in this episode.
Yeah, she doesn't
Yeah.
appear for a few episodes later.
Who's that?
The maid.
She's like a super main character of the show, but she's not in the first few episodes.
Like a housekeeper who's always around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I completely forgot about her. Holy shit. I didn't even realize that she wasn't in this. That's wild.
And it's who she played by. Someone kind of famous.
Mario Batali.
Yeah. You'd know her from the Happy Madison movies.
It's not Mario Batali.
No, obviously not. Her name's Conchata Farrell. She actually passed 5 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, she's in a million things. If you look her up,
Doesn't she kind of look like Mario Batali, though?
She's the Mr. lady, right?
Who is she, Mr. Deeds?
She works in the pizza shop with him.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I
Oh,
forgot
okay,
she's
yeah.
in that. Yeah.
Yes. I
Big,
know exactly
big
what
fat
now, yeah.
lady.
She was really funny on this show.
I
too.
want to say she played a similar role on another show too, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But regardless, she's not in this episode, so I don't want to spend too much time talking about her. R.I.P.
Real bummer.
Charlie and Jake are kind of having a side conversation, like as they're walking through, and Alan wants to get them out of the room. So Charlie's like, "Hey, Jake, like, want to have some breakfast?" He's like, "I already had breakfast." He's like, "All right, maybe we'll do lunch." He's like, "It's not lunchtime yet." And Charlie like looks to his, Alan and does like the little head exploding thing, and they walk off. And the two of them are going on a little bit more. Again, you're getting like a vibe for Alan's character as he's talking to Judith. It's like she's saying in so many ways, like, "I don't want to be with you anymore," and he's just kind of pleading his case. And you like when she tells him he's like the most rigid, inflexible, obsessive, and anal retentive man she's ever met. And he goes, rigid and inflexible? Like, don't you think that's a little redundant? It's like, oh, dude, like, you're pleading for her to stay with you, and like you are being everything she hates in that moment with that one sentence.
Yeah.
Like, even I'm like, oh, dude, you could fuck right off.
My question here, though, is was he not like that 12 years ago? Because it feels like a character trait that is him through and through.
Yeah, right.
I don't think it had bothered her that much.
There are, like, listen, yeah, like anything else too. Like, there are things that you think are charming that become less charming with times, or things you just tolerate that, like, a lot of time with one person, like, as you know, like it changes things, like, and hopefully for the better over time, but sometimes little things go the opposite way. From there, we cut like outside now, and we see Charlie and Jake sitting out on the porch, and Charlie's pouring a beer into a tomato juice? Is that what he's having?
I thought he was doing a beer garita.
I thought he was having a clamato.
What the hell is it called? When like a beer in a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, like the little beer hangs over the thing.
Well, yeah, essentially that's what I thought was going on. Like, I saw the tomato, I thought it was tomato juice. So, it could be a Bloody Mary because it's tomato juice.
There are those like red margaritas though. That's what I thought it was, because like at this time was the time when like Chili's just came out with like, you take a mini bottle of Corona, you put it in your margarita.
A Corona Rita.
But this is like his breakfast, right? Essentially, that's why I think it's probably
Well, he's hungover though, so
some sort of a Bloody Mary situation's going on.
It's called the Michelada.
Michelada.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't like tomato juice.
Tomato juice isn't my thing.
No. I've always liked the idea of it, but I don't like it.
I feel like it's just ketchup, but it's not ketchup.
I feel like when you think about it, like at its base, I should like it. Right?
Yeah.
But the idea disgusts me.
Like V8, like they have berries and other shit in it, and it's like, no, it's not good.
Oh no, V8 Splash is totally different. That has no tomato in it.
I love V8 Splash.
Yeah, the splash one's just fruit. The splash one's just fruit punch.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's not even fruit in it.
everything is a lie. Just remember
Yeah.
that.
I will say though, we've talked about this a lot of times, is all of us who have a very big love of tomato-based things get older and give us heartburn. If you know you're going to have something tomato that day, I'd much rather have some pizza later on than some tomato juice in the morning. Like, I would rather enjoy that heartburn.
Why would you do that to yourself in the morning?
It's heavy too, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, I also say too, though, and we talk about my drinking all the time, but like, I've never ever once wanted to drink in the morning. Like, I want water and coffee only in the morning. I can't imagine starting the day with alcohol. Like, that sounds like a fucking tough day.
I have never understood the coffee for a hangover thing. I feel like if you went out drinking and you have a hangover, I feel like the caffeine like exaggerates all the worst feelings. You know what I mean? It's not going to make anything feel better. It's going to make me super aware of how bad I feel.
I think part of it though is that like if you drink coffee every day, if you don't drink coffee, you get that headache from it. So you know you have to drink it to like get rid of that.
That I can understand, I guess. Yeah.
Callie's got the right idea. The hair of the dog, the real thing.
Is there any proof to the hair of the dog working?
It just re-drunks you.
Yeah, it just makes your brain, like, it makes your receptors be like, oh, I don't hate this anymore. I'm feeling a little better. Like,
Yeah, it dulls all the hangover because you just dulling all the.
but it's definitely like a robbing Peter to pay Paul thing, because to keep that going, you'd have to continue the cycle of drinking every morning. You know what I mean? Like, because if you stop drinking in the middle of the day, especially in the summertime, you're out, he's like falling asleep drinking on the beach with the sun on him. He's gonna be so hungover at like 4 p.m.
I've never understood the people who can drink on the beach. Like fucking 92 degrees in the sun, and you're just chugging
Hop in the water.
alcohol.
I love that.
I
No.
can't do it.
I've done it, but it has to be like something like refreshing and crushable.
It just like slows me down. I'm like tired and lethargic and ugh.
I've drinking on the beach with you plenty of times.
No, you haven't. You really haven't.
I love night beach drinking is fun.
That's different. Yeah.
Then you can
Heat
really
that gets-
drown when there's no sun out to see you.
Anyways, Jake and Charlie are talking out on the porch, and Jake's saying, Charlie, my mom and dad are splitting up. He's like, yeah, it looks that way. He's like, you're lucky. When I was your age, I could only dream about my parents splitting up. And Jake's like, your mom is my grandma. Yep. He's like, and grandma says you're a bitter disappointment.
He doesn't seem like a disappointment to me. He seems, I'm bitter, sure, but like, he seems to be doing just fine.
Well, you have to realize too, though. Oh, you know what? You don't know this actually. I was gonna say, so their parents are very wealthy, and
We see that.
When you see the house,
we
later,
yeah,
see
you
that,
do
yeah.
kind of see that. I forgot. Yeah. So I took like compared to her, I guess he's still kind of a disappointment because of A, I guess compared to her, he doesn't have that much money, and B, how he makes his money isn't like a a lawyer or a doctor or something like that.
Yeah, he got into music.
Alan's not a doctor either.
He's a chiropractor.
chiropractor.
That's
Doctor.
not a
Chiropractor.
doctor.
I'm not trying to offend any chiropractors who might be listening.
Not a doctor.
I'm
I'm going to call that a doctor.
I think Gordo's right. I think technically they're not.
By technicality, I don't think you need to have a doctorate to become a chiropractor. But I'm just going to make myself sound dumb if I overtalk the subject anyways.
I'm looking up right now.
Alan heads out onto the porch and goes to Jake like, hey, your mom wants to say goodbye. So Jake leaves. And then Alan says to Charlie, hey, listen, he doesn't know anything about what's going on, so let's just keep this to ourselves. Obviously, we know Jake is well aware of what's going on. And then Charlie's like, no, yeah.
Just real quick, to be a chiropractor, you have to have a doctor of
DC.
chiropractic.
Ergonomics.
So it is a real doctorate. You're not a medical doctor. If you have a heart attack on a plane, you probably don't want that person. But if your back hurts,
So I said they're not a real doctor.
They are a doctor. It's not a medical doctor. There's different kinds of doctors.
John Cena, doctor. Got a doctorate of thugonomics. Yeah.
I like that joke when Jay made it like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, I made it a second ago, but I figured he would just cut when I said it and just use his version. So Charlie's saying our little secret and then goes, wait, why is he saying goodbye to his mom? Oh, she's going to be going away for the weekend with her sister in Vegas. So we decided Jake would stay with me, with you, with us. And then Jake walks back out and he's like, I'm hungry. And Alan's like, so is this going to be a problem? And he like just looks over at Jake, who's just like making like like a weird cheesing face at him. Like, I guess not. And then Alan's like, oh, and I got to call my office real quick. So can you just make him lunch? And then like leaves him with Charlie. And Charlie's like, yeah, I guess, sure. And when Alan exits, Jake's just like still making like a goofy grin. He's like, what are you smiling about? He's like, you don't have any food. He's like, yeah, but I'm not the one who's hungry. So who's laughing now?
It's a perfect retort to that scenario.
And which cuts to them now at the supermarket. And two of them are at the supermarket now because Charlie has no food. And he's like, hey, do you drink milk? He's like, no, just with cereal. It's all right. So he grabs a carton. He's like, no, not that milk. He's like, that one. He's like, what's the difference? He's like, that's Dairy Farm. We drink Dairy Barn. All right. He swaps it. I've never been, I think we've talked milk in the past.
Yeah.
Probably not recently, but were you guys ever like heavy brand specific? I'm just more like percentage.
Yeah, I'm type.
I never drank milk enough to care about a brand.
Yeah, I use it if it's in a recipe or if I'm making coffee, but that's it. But up here we buy like
Moose milk.
My wife prefers like the brand from her childhood, which is like a main brand.
See, I've never cared. Like I like 2% milk, but like if it's store brand or Grolic Farms or Hood or I think this is all regional. So, but like whatever it is, like I don't. As long as it's at 2%, I'm happy.
As long as it isn't whole milk. Because,
Yeah, I can't do whole. Yeah, I'm saying.
What do you guys got against whole milk?
It's too
Whole.
thick.
Yeah, I just don't like the taste of it.
Oh, I'm a whole milk guy.
Can't.
Whole milk is, as a kid, I drank whole milk, but I mean, I don't drink milk anyway anymore. I use it for, like I said, for very sparingly things, but I couldn't. Whole milk is so thick.
My wife likes 1% or 2%. I don't know. I always screw it up when I buy it. Fat free.
Sounds like, yeah, you even right now, I wouldn't trust you to go get the milk. You have no idea what kind of milk.
Yeah, you just named all kinds of milk and didn't know which one it was.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like a crapshoot every week. She's like, oh, can you go pick up milk? And then I buy milk, and then she goes, that's wrong milk.
So Charlie swaps them out. He's like, they're happy. He's like, why would I be happy? It's just milk. Like, this kid, I'd be so fucking pissed.
Most kids, I feel like, would be like, are you happy? We got you the thing you wanted. They're like, usually like, yes.
I love that he replied that way. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Like if I was the adult, I would be so pissed. But I thought like just the way that conversation rolled was really good. Now they roll over to get the cereal, and I kind of like the way it was shot. Like they go to the next aisle, and the camera pans out as they like loop around from the backside. I don't know why. It's obviously a very small supermarket that they're at. We could see, but the way that they shot that little transition to the next aisle, I thought was really nice.
I always feel bad for the set designers in these scenarios where it's like you have to make 3 aisles of grocery store. Like that's so much fucking shit to have to put out and make look right and block and do all the stuff you do in a grocery store. I mean, we've all worked retail jobs. At the end of the day where it's like, go block the store. You're like, that's a nightmare.
No, there's got to be a sound stage. It's just full grocery stores.
So
for all these
what might
shows.
happen a lot is a lot of production companies might have generic
Yeah.
a supermarket set, a few things where like multiple shows will reuse some of them sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of if they're big enough that like have enough productions going on and like sitcoms, like they might have like a few generics.
Did you guys watch when they brought back Supermarket Sweep a couple of years ago?
I didn't watch it. I was aware that it came back.
It was honestly hard to watch, and now it would be way different because it's way more. But like, I feel like when you go to the grocery store, I think you kind of nowadays go like, this is really expensive. I'm just getting the stuff I need. And you just kind of have to deal with it. So when they're like trying to price things out, you're like, I don't know what anything costs anymore because everything just costs a fuck ton. I just know that if I get cold cuts, it'll be fucking $30. So I'm not getting those. You know what I mean? Like, so when you have to play the game of like, okay, get to $50. You're like, I don't know what that is anymore. Like groceries cost so much money.
Just eggs.
When I was a kid and watched Supermarket Sweep, it was like, I'd always go like, why aren't they just filling the thing with like the hams and the turkeys? Like that was always like the way to make the most money. And like no one ever did it. Or like go to like the medicine aisle and just wipe your arm across and fill your
No, they
carriage.
had to find specific products.
To a degree, yes. But you still had to like rack a certain amount of money in your carriage and find specific products.
The 80s one was fun because it had like the giant blow up cans of like beer and soda. Where I'm like, are those on a soundstage somewhere? Like, I want the 1988 7-foot tall Miller High Life can in my room so fucking badly.
Remember, there was an episode of Married with Children when they were on that, and they were happy because they finally got to eat.
I always wanted to go on Supermarket Sweep because it looked fun, like the last couple minutes where you run around. And then what was that other one that was like supposed to be like a mall, but it was like set up like it was like a 2-layer shop till you drop? That one was another one that I thought would have been a really fun show to go on.
Wow, no one remembers that one. It's everyone like it's funny. Supermarket sweep stands out in everyone's head. I forgot about Shop Till You Drop It
because it was on right after.
Yeah, they were always like right near each other. But that was always one of those shows I was like, this would be so fun to be on.
I wonder if there was a board game version of that. I feel like there must have been, and we should all play it. If not, we can get Mall Madness, which I feel like is similar.
Can we just play Dream Phone instead?
Oh, I love Dream Phone.
You got I really like you.
Okay, we're definitely making a note. I'm going to eBay this morning.
How much for a sealed copy of Girl Talk?
Sealed Dream Phone. I do make sure everything's in there.
They go around to the next aisle and they're looking through all the cereals. It's like, all right, we got Lucky Charms, Cocoa Puffs, Frosted Flakes, and Maple Loops. He's like, oh, I want Maple Loops. And then Jake starts singing the song. It's got oats and corns and wheat. It's the sweetest breakfast treat. It's maple, maple, maple-licious.
I found it strange that they named real brands and then went with a made-up one. You'd think they would have went all fake ones.
Yeah.
Guys, update Dream Phone's really fucking expensive.
Oh, I bet.
It's like $200 to get a working version.
That's not bad. That's only $40 each.
But for $70, you can get a replacement of just the phone, which I kind of just want on my desk.
Or just go to a thrift shop and find someone's old one.
Or you at home can go to S1E1pod.com and buy a t-shirt so we can buy Dream Phone.
Okay, can we start a pledge drive here to buy a Dream Phone? We just sell $100 worth of t-shirts to buy a Dream Phone. Can we make a Dream Phone t-shirt?
Gordo's going to do a telethon, yeah.
We should do like an old school telethon like they used to on PBS.
No, let's just do a telethon where you answer phones in a thong.
But you do it at PBS so we can get you arrested.
I'm
on
up
TV.
the street.
It's going to be Gordo and his co-host, Tanetta. If you don't know who that is, Google it. So anyways, Maple Loops. Is there any kind of like O-shaped cereal that's maple flavored? Because this seems like something that should exist. Not
they
like
make maple Cheerios.
Yeah, they're delicious.
They have a maple Cheerio? I know there's Honey Nut Cheerio.
I've never heard of this maple Cheerio you speak of. Let me look it up.
Last year, because they're like a specialty season thing, we liked them so much we bought like 3 boxes of them.
Huh.
Oh, they look great. Yeah. Whole grain oats, maple Cheerios.
When you open up the box, it's like smelling somebody cooking pancakes. It's stupidly good, but they don't taste like too sugary or too sweet. It's perfect combination.
Have we talked about this recently? I might have talked about it elsewhere, so forgive me if I've talked about it here. I don't eat cereal because I can't stop eating cereal once I start. I cannot curb the craving once I start eating cereal. I have to eat a whole fucking box of it.
I do large portions in general.
I go through cereal phases and then I'll buy a box and get out of the phase, and then the box will sit in my cabinet for like 6 months.
We often have we've had this talk before, so I don't want to overly get into it, but I hadn't bought a box of cereal in a really, really long time, and then a few weeks back I was shopping and I got myself a nice box of Crispex, and like when you have
bland
but
bitch.
like even when it's just like when you're looking for something quick to eat at night, sometimes you don't want to make dinner, and like just an ice cold milk with some cereal, like it hits.
Crispex.
It does hit.
I think we talked about it. I love eating cereal, but I eat it dry. So I usually have like a big tub of like cinnamon Chex or something, or I can like grab a handful as I'm like going downstairs to get water.
I had a recent thing where I had a cereal kick, and I unfortunately went to Costco. So now I just have a huge industrial size Cinnamon Toast Crunch that I can't finish.
How many booms would you give the Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Shut
5
up.
booms.
Just, no.
Boom.
Let them die.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
I hate every second of this.
Boom.
They're the only 2 fans left.
No, there's plenty. Anyways,
It's dozens of us.
Jake singing the Maple Loops jingle, and Charlie was like, hey, you know who wrote that song? Your Uncle Charlie. So that's when we kind of find out, like, oh, he writes jingles. I don't know if that's the only thing he does, but at this point we know that's how he's made money.
Just like another famous uncle, Uncle Jesse.
I was just going to say, this feels a little too ripped from the headlines of Uncle Jesse and his less successful Uncle Joey. Failed comedian Uncle Joey. Alcove dweller, failed comedian Uncle Joey.
Leave him alone.
Hey, you know what's funny, actually? Not to sidetrack too hard. I watched, it just happened to be on the finale of Full House today. And as this show ends, the music's playing, it's fading out, everybody's hugging somebody except Joey. He's just sitting on the couch alone. And I was like, oh, that's so sad. Joe would love this.
Yeah, he just has his terrible jokes to surround him.
So anyways, because of the singing, some like smoke show happens to be walking down the aisle and sees Jake sing, goes like, oh, you two are really good together. Like, cause there was a point where Charlie's singing along with him. He's like, oh, thanks. And she asked Charlie, does your wife sing too? Oh, no, I'm not married. She goes, ooh, what a shame. And like walks off.
Fun fact, this character comes back later on in the series and Charlie marries her.
Well, there's a giant spoiler, not just a fun fact.
Well, it's just neat that you see her in the first episode and she...
Yeah.
No, I do appreciate that when you see somebody in a pilot. And there was an unaired pilot. Do we know what was different in the unaired pilot?
There was a different mom. The mom was actually, I can't remember the actress's name, but like, you know, the wife in Meet the Parents, the one who's married to Robert De Niro, she was the original mom.
Blythe Danner. She's Gwyneth Paltrow's mom.
In real life?
Yeah.
You think she has any of those vagina candles?
She probably does. She's full of goop.
Hey, Mom, I got you some candles.
It kind of smells like yours used to smell.
Oh, that made it weird somehow.
How?
Weirder.
Why?
It was already
now?
weird.
It's a different character, by the way. I just looked into it. She's Suzanne in the pilot, and then later on in the show, when it gets more serious, she's somebody named Chelsea.
Well, Suzanne is all I ever wanted in a girl.
In fairness, like they call her Suzanne, but this is the only thing we get her for 2 lines and she's not addressed by name. So they just like stapled a name to her.
This also feels very much like the dented can scene of
Big Daddy.
Old School.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, Big Daddy too, yeah. There's a lot of like kids and doing weird stuff in the grocery store at this time, huh?
Wait, what in Old School had a dented can?
Yeah, what'd they do in Old School? I don't remember that
It's
part.
when it's at the end when Will Ferrell is divorced and he runs
When he
into
runs
Juliette
into
Lewis.
Juliette Lewis. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, I remember that now.
As opposed to the scene where this happens in Sylvester Stallone's Cobra, where he's shooting all the cans and Sylvester Stallone goes, go ahead, I don't shop here. Which is like the funniest fucking line in an action movie ever.
Funny you bring that up, because I've been getting a lot of Stop or My Mom Will Shoot reels on Instagram, and I have no idea why.
I wonder
But I
why
love
that
it.
is returning to the zeitgeist. Mom, clean my gun.
I got you this new stolen gun.
Now, the next scene, we see Alan and he's on the phone in the living room. And he's on the phone with like, I think it's like the marriage counselor. So he's like trying to like change his appointment or cancel the appointment they have. And trying to like not fully tell. He's like, oh, we just got to cancel it. Like something personal came up. And like even in the conversation, like you kind of hear like, oh, well, he doesn't want to get into it. But like if you're like going to marriage counseling and you're about to get a divorce, like that's not like a personal thing you'd hide. Like that's kind of like the whole reason you talk to this guy to begin with. But regardless,
He's clearly not good at his job.
I think too, though, there's a huge thing of people who talk to their like mental health or relationship health or whatever people and like don't tell the whole story. You know what I mean? Because like it's uncomfortable to like tell the whole thing. Sometimes they're like, I think you're fine. And you're like, probably not though, right? Like I think it's you put into it what you.
if you're withholding information, then like yeah, that's like, think about it like if you go to a doctor, like a medical doctor, and you don't disclose all your symptoms. If you're not telling them everything, they're not going to be able to treat you properly.
Honestly, get married. That's the best way to go to the doctor. I literally have a list every time I go where it's like, you'll forget these things. Show this to the doctor. And it's like a little kid being like, my blood pressure is high.
My wife said I have to tell you this.
Yeah, exactly. I do the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect because it's off your plate. You just like, here's the list. I don't know. Can you check all these things? Look at my blood. Does it look like ragu still? I don't know. What do we need to do now?
And that, or like, even if it's not your wife, but if you have friends that can tell you, like, make sure you get a physical. And that is the one where they check your whole body and not just make you cough.
To be fair, Jay, I'm on your side on this one, but you're historically the worst person I know about going to the doctor who has the most ailments of
I
anybody
had a
I've ever
physical.
met.
They checked my body. They said it was good. They didn't even need to see the nuts.
Like, good body.
And Gordo died later that day.
No, they literally were like, nah, sir, this is great.
So am I supposed to show you my balls? Sir, this is a dentist office.
Well, it was really weird when the dentist was checking my prostate, but he had both hands around me.
And your neck?
Yeah.
Gordo likes choke play. Don't shame his kink.
Did you tell the dentist he's not a real doctor too?
No, he is a doctor. Chiropractors are not a doctor. I'm sorry.
They are.
They are
They
not.
are doctors.
You crack your back and then you're never fixed.
You know what's funny? I was just Googling it, and there is a very popular Reddit thread that was like today that went off about how
Sure, Reddit.
like how you should not go to chiropractors. They're uneducated and dangerous. Now I got to go find
If
it.
it's on Reddit, it must be true.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wholeheartedly disagree with this. I've met some very good chiropractors in my life, and I think they are very qualified professionals.
Well, they apparently consistently paralyze and
Yeah.
cause strokes in people.
Yeah, I'm going to have one of those anyway.
Well, okay then.
The only good thing that chiropractors do are those fart compilation videos when they crack people's backs and they fart. Have you guys get those on Instagram? I get those.
Surprisingly, no, considering all the shit you send us, I don't. But I'm mad now because I know tomorrow the first thing I see when I wake up and turn my phone on is that.
Those are funny.
I won't watch it, but I'll be mad it's there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they like.
Gordon, have you ever gotten a colonic before?
How did you go in this direction?
Because it seems like something he would find funny enough that he would do.
What's a colonic?
It's where you basically get like a full enema from a doctor, and they
Ew.
basically pull out everything out of your
No.
rectum and your.
It's like a juice cleanse without the juice.
I mean, I'll
like a
probably
quick-
have to have a colonoscopy at some point, but
This is kind of like the doctor doing it for you, like the classic thing you always hear about. Like John Wayne died, and they said that he has it's like urban legend. He had like 50 pounds of like compacted meat in his organs or whatever. Like people get colonoscopies, just colonics to like alleviate that sort of thing.
Have you ever seen Tub Girl?
yes.
Is it Dracula Dead and Loving It when the doctor just tries to give everybody a colonic?
I hate that I don't remember that scene because I always want to talk about Dracula Dead and Loving It. Guys, watch along next week. Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Shut up and take my money, man.
I just bought the 3-disc Blu-ray of all of the Naked Gun movies so I can get ready for the new one.
So as Alan is talking to this doctor, you see in the background Rose is like climbing up the like balcony from the beach, comes up to the glass. So like I don't know how high up his apartment is. Like
I think it's supposed to be pretty high, which is what makes this crazy.
it's enough that she still was able to climb up over onto the porch. And she like knocks on the glass. He's like, all right, I gotta go. And he like opens up. Hello? It's like, is Charlie home? No, but I'm his brother. Can I help you? Oh, hi, Charlie's brother. I'm Rose. I'm Charlie's housekeeper. Oh, you're a housekeeper? Yeah, housekeeper, actress, hand model. I just do all the things to keep the wolf from the door. She asked if she could come in. He's like, yeah, sure. And as soon as she comes in, it's probably been a while since she's been in the apartment. This is the girl, Rose, again, the one that we hear over the answering machine, who is apparently, from what we know, they hooked up one time and she's been like obsessed with him ever since. And she walks in and just like smells the room and she's like, I can smell him. Smell who? Your brother. He has a very musky scent.
Same thing as could be said about a lot of men.
Okay.
I don't sniff a lot of men, but I'll take your word for it.
You'd think she'd be in the house a lot since his key is in a rock.
True, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
And he's like, all right, well, I guess I'll let you go to work. Before she just like, wait. And she like gives him a sniff. He's like, what? He's like, nah, it's okay. And she walks away. Alan's scent is not quite as masculine, I guess. Are we going by natural scent, or are we to believe that I pegged Charlie as a cologne guy?
I imagine
Yeah,
he's
or at
Yeah.
least an
spraying something
aftershave guy.
That's what I was thinking, actually. Right after I said it, I was like, he definitely has that like dad's aftershave vibe.
I've been chasing that vibe. I love a good after. Like we've discussed this. I'm not even going to get into it anymore. I like aftershave.
Yeah, I've talked about it.
I love
before.
aftershave.
Me too.
I love that because none of you shave.
I gotta shave my neck and the side of my cheeks.
Yeah, I trim up the neck sometimes, but for me, it's strictly a getting into bed, fresh, clean, smelling good.
Also, if you put it in your beard, it makes your beard soft.
I put oil in my beard.
I actually use urine. I find that it's because I heard it softens your hands, so I just
More
use
plentiful.
urine.
No, it makes your hands harder. That's why batters that don't wear
Yeah,
It's
batting
true,
hats
yeah.
pee on their
Jorge
hands.
Posada
Yeah.
did
Is
it.
Leather.
that why my beard doesn't move?
So stiff. Jay's beard has 7 RBIs this season already. It's very impressive.
So now the next scene, we see Charlie and Jake, and they're returning from the grocery store. They enter through like the kitchen with some bags. Jake's still singing the Maple Loop song, and Alan walks in. He's like, "Oh, what took so long?" It's like, "Oh, we stopped for ice cream because I'm a babe magnet." And then he goes, I gotta go take a squirt and walks off. And Alan looks at Charlie's like, why are you assuming that he got that from me? Like, because I got that from you.
That's a great line. I laughed really hard at that.
I don't know if I've ever used take a squirt. Like I've heard it. But
I hate that term.
I've never said it.
It's squirt 1 or 2.
One.
Yes.
one.
Oh my God, Gordo.
Maybe you, because you always have diarrhea.
The fact that you legitimately needed clarification for that speaks miles about who you are as a human being.
Yeah, and about your dietary issues. I ain't shit solid in 6 weeks.
Regular people have 6 fish fillets a day, guys. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just crushing McDonald's and Coca-Cola, Gordo. See what happens? You can't tell the difference between your pee and your poo.
I don't think the fillet of fish needs to be caught in the crossfire here.
I did have a fillet of fish last night, actually.
There it is. Sorry, Jay.
You had filet of fish last night and McDonald's for dinner tonight?
I had a fried fish sandwich that I put in the air fryer from Trader Joe's.
That's not the same thing.
It's kind of.
Similar.
He had a fillet of fish. He did not have a fillet of fish.
Oh, fish. One was Irish, one wasn't.
Yeah, how come it's not the Mick fillet of fish?
Because that does not roll off the tip of your tongue.
The McFish?
There was a time, if you remember, when the Arch Deluxe came out and they renamed a lot of their sandwiches. And then they used to have the Crispy Chicken Deluxe, the Grilled Chicken Deluxe, and the Fish Fillet Deluxe, which replaced the fillet of fish for quite a while. It was a different fish sandwich. And then eventually, years later, they returned to the fillet of fish.
It had cheese on it, right?
There's cheese on the fillet of fish.
Is there?
Yeah, cheese and tartar sauce.
Dietary restrictions have kept me from this stuff for a very long time. But I remember it's bad, but I remember really loving the terrible Burger King chicken parm.
Oh, the Italian chicken sandwich?
Did they do that on the long bun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That long bun chicken sandwich is the most disgusting sandwich in fast food.
Are you crazy? That's delicious.
Yeah, it's one of the best chicken sandwiches out there.
That's the best chicken sandwich in fast food. By far.
Get one. Get one now.
I will.
You know what? Next group trip
To Burger King.
to Burger King.
Everybody goes 2 fucking feet to meet up.
So anyways, Alan's talking to Charlie and Charlie's like, oh, hey, and thanks for cleaning up, by the way. He's like, oh, no, it wasn't me. Rose was here. Like, Rose? You let Rose into my house? She said she was the maid. And then Charlie runs to the cabinet and pulls out and he's like, she glued the damn cabinet shut again.
I love this being a reoccurring problem in his life.
That's what makes it so funny.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what was going to happen. He
It
went
also
and checked.
means, though, when he was talking to that other girl in the beginning of the episode, that it wasn't a one-time fling because this girl's been over enough to have a consistent move.
Well, maybe she keeps breaking in.
Yeah, she's a stalker.
You think she breaks in that often?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't take it that way. I can see that being a thing also, but I was under the assumption that he may have let her in the house more than once in a pinch.
I feel like she comes in and this is her wet bandit scenario.
If you had to glue someone's cabinets shut, what glue would you use?
Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla Glue, yeah.
Or cock.
Yeah, so sort of silicone maybe. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's funny coming. Oh, cock. Just like
A silicone-based glue would be a good glue to use. Would you use wood glue? It was in the cabinet.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on what it's made out of. If it's like a wood, then yeah, I think a wood glue would probably
Cement
be the better way
glue.
to go.
Yeah, rubber cement would probably be the best for a composite or a...
I'd be so fucking mad.
Whatever glue she used was clearly the best choice because this cabinet will not open. None of the cabinets will open.
Should have glued the handles.
There's a point where Alan gets on the countertop and is putting his entire body into it and can't get this thing to budge.
Yeah, he's using his feet on the counter as leverage to pull.
This is a very funny physical gag, and I laughed very hard at it, but it's insanely impractical that he would just randomly do this at his brother's apartment. You think smart versus hard in this scenario.
While they're both frantically trying to get these cabinets open, they start arguing with one another and they going back and forth a little bit. And it one of the last lines is Charlie going, "Hey pal, the two of us, I bet I'm the only one who slept with a married woman recently." and then right as that happens, their mom walks in and she's like, "Well, isn't that something to brag about?" And as Alan turns, the cabinet handles finally come loose and he just goes flying off the counter.
This is such a well shot, well blocked, well thought out scene. And like the best way to introduce the mom.
The mom, Evelyn, played by Holland Taylor, who you might know from Bosom Buddies. She was the boss.
I was going to say she's the captain in Cop and a Half.
Way better.
Way better.
Sure.
Well, you know what? We have a Bosom Buddies episode people can go back and listen to, and not a Cop and a Half one.
Well, we should change that.
Yeah, I would love to talk about Burt Reynolds' weird early 90s cop movie where a person gets drowned in the beginning in front of a child, and that's how this whole movie starts. Well, the villain sings Splish Splash, I'm taking a bath. The movie fucking rules.
That was rude.
I haven't seen it in so long. Like I to the point where I don't remember anything of it, but I know I've seen it.
We've got so many watch-alongs we need to do. We need to have like a movie day. S1E1 movie day.
So we cut forward a little bit, and now we have the two brothers like sitting in the living room while the mother's like standing up over them and like just kind of like ranting on. And she's like saying to Alan, "Do you know how hurtful it is to hear about your own son's divorce on the streets?" And he's like, "What divorce? What street?"
What street's my favorite line of the whole
what street
episode?
got me?
And then again, you get Charlie with the, "How did you get in my house?"
I think Charlie's retort is the best. Like, what divorce, what streets, how did you get in my house? Like the rule of threes in the questions.
She's like, "You stay out of this. I'm here to help your brother go through a very difficult time." And turns to him like, "How can you do this to me? Do what?" And she's like, "Now when I see my grandson, I'm going to have to make an appointment with Judith, who's never been very warm to me." She goes, "And what if there's another man shacking up with her? Have we even stopped to consider that?" And then like you cut to Alan, who basically you see die on the inside because he's never thought of that until now.
That's essentially the Ralph Wiggum meme. Like,
Yes.
I love it because you just see his face go cold. Like, because you're going through all this breakup shit and it's like fucking awful. And like through the midst of it, like you're just trying so hard to regain back. The thought hasn't even entered his brain. Maybe she's already seen another dude. So like, oh, like you just feel what he's feeling in that moment.
Especially too when he's like, she doesn't like having sex. Like the idea of, but she likes sex with somebody else. Like all of that is just like destroying him in the inside.
So now Jake walks out. He's like, "Here's your iced tea, Grandma." It's like, "Oh, thank you. Oh, wait. I asked for a lemon wedge." And she sends her grandson back to the kitchen to get her lemon. So you really like, again, I will say one thing that I would really attribute as a positive for this show in the writing is you get a great vibe for every character almost the minute you see them. Like without saying much, every character we've encountered, both brothers, the mother, Jake, the ex-wife, Rose, like you get very little from them and like their personalities shine instantly. And I don't know if that's just good writing or like the director knowing exactly what he wants out of his performers, but it all kind of clicked.
I think it's that, but also like good performers, right? Like you've got people who are like leads in movies doing this, right? Like you've got people who know what the fuck they're doing and it pays off. And a lot of people are in very funny things too. I mean, think of how many funny things Charlie Sheen has been in, right? Like you can't think of him ever not being funny, except the 9/11 movie. That's like literally the one movie where you're like, this isn't very funny.
And then this conversation kind of closed out with the mother offering like for Alan and Jake to come live with her.
I think it's a sweet move.
It was like the right move. Yeah. Like, she's still doing the right thing there. And we do see like, just the way she's talking, she clearly has a favorite amongst her two sons.
And then you see the house.
When she's like talking about like how much, she'll always have room in her house and her heart for him. He's like, "I love you too, Mom." And then she like turns to Charlie and the two are just like staring at each other for a solid 10 seconds. And Charlie goes, "I love you too, Mom." And she goes, "Too little, too late." So now we cut to Alan and he's out to dinner with Judith now that she's back from Vegas, apparently. And he's asking her like, "Oh, how was the trip? Was it good?" It's like, "Yeah, it was fine." It's like, "Alan, I really want to apologize for putting you through this. Like, I was wrong to blame you for my unhappiness." And then he's like excited and quick to jump like, "Oh, no need to apologize. What's important is we're here and we're working on our marriage. And you look great, by the way. And, it must be all the extra oxygen they were pumping in the casinos." And she's like trying to stop him. Alan, he's like, "And you were right. I see what that, time apart did us both a lot of good and I've grown. I'm not the suffocating guy that you threw out of the house." And as he's doing, he's like, "Let me get that." And he like grabs his napkin and wipes her face. Like, there's no growth from Alan at all, by the way, in these like 4 days. And again, she's going, "Alan, And he keeps talking. He's like, and Jake's doing fine. I know you were concerned about him being with my brother, but Charlie's great with the kids. And then when he says that, we cut to Charlie, like, and Jake, who are now, Charlie's hosting a poker game. So there's that abrupt cut as soon as it's like, oh, Jake's doing fine with Charlie. And now he's there and all the guys are like drinking and smoking cigars and playing poker.
One thing I love about this show is Charlie and Jake's relationship. Like, sweet, but like messed up at the same time.
Here's the thing, like, I guess other than the fact that maybe it might be a little late, like, I know this is like television-wise, connotation's always been bad to have kids around like the boys' poker night. Like, is it that bad? I mean, other than like,
no, he's
they're
not
smoking?
doing anything.
No.
Like you said, the smoke would be the only bad
But they always
part.
like portray it on television like poker nights like this like adult thing, but it's like it's really
it's
not.
It's the opening credits of Roseanne. The kids are part of that.
I feel like maybe that all changed. I think when Texas Hold'em on television became like what it became, it changed the perception of what poker was.
Yeah. Nah, it's just a bunch of bros getting together, and
I think in the context of Charlie's poker game, it makes it more adult. You know what I mean? Because he's such like a bachelor, right?
Right.
So if your kid was like, oh yeah, he's at Charlie's, or you found out your kid was at Charlie's poker game, it's a different story.
There is a chance for the caliber of person he'd invite over
Yeah.
to be like more unsavory people, I guess.
so it's teaching a kid to gamble.
So they're like in the middle of a hand, like everyone's putting in for like $1 or whatever, and then Charlie raised the dollar bet to a $5 bet, and Jake's behind him looking at the cards. He goes, "You raised $5 on that?" So everyone's like, "Oh, I call." So everyone throws their money in, and then Charlie drops his cards, and he has a full house. He has queens and nines, and one of the guys at the table is like looking at Jake like, "Kid, don't you know what a full house is?" "Yeah, and I also know what a psychout is."
Did anybody check?
I like this.
Did anybody tag who that was right away? By the way,
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Tom Wilson, Biff Tannen.
Oh yes, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
I didn't even
pick up on
notice.
that. Yeah.
I weirdly watch Blood In, Blood Out like once a month, so he's weirdly always around.
I love when he pops up and stuff.
Freaks and geeks.
This is the first we're seeing like Charlie and Jake like really like, well, I guess like in the supermarket a little bit, but now they're like an established duo. Like they're a team now.
Yeah, they're bros right now.
Yeah, he's the Funkle.
We have talked about this before. But how did Jake get his personality? He's so much like Charlie here, I guess, but he didn't get it from mom and dad.
Because he has his mom and dad.
Kids are just impressionable.
But he hasn't been around his uncle very much.
Been around with him for a solid full weekend.
Yeah, full weekend, he's gonna start taking on the character traits, especially if he thinks he's cool. That's like when we were all in 4th grade and we all became obsessed with the Offspring, so we all got our hair braided.
No, we all very cool,
Bowl cuts.
coolly had.
Actually, yeah, no, at that age, we probably all had like undercuts and bowl cuts by then, right?
No, 100% we had bowl cuts.
Oh yeah, 1994 for sure.
We cut back to the restaurant. Alan saying, like, I think we're going to look back at this as a new beginning for our marriage, like a rebirth, a renaissance, if you will. And she finally gets out, like, Alan, I think I'm gay. All right, well, we'll make a list. On one side, we'll put gay stuff. And we cut back to the poker game. And now we see, like, one of the guys making a bet. And he raises it to, like, $20. And, like, the camera turns. And we see that he's playing, like, heads up against Jake at this point. So now Charlie's like not at the table. Jake's playing, and Charlie's almost like his coach now.
Then Roseanne puts down a pizza and goes,
They have their little sidebar conversation. Jake's like, he's bluffing. He always pulls his ear when he bluffs. And then you cut back to the guy's like, how about it, Mighty Mouse, you in? And you see him like pull his ear. And then Charlie's like, take him down.
That seems like a weird tell. Like, there was a time where y'all played poker, right? Like, remember poker became like the most important thing in the world for like 6 months? Like, Nick, we play poker in your basement. I still, to this day, don't know how to play poker. I'd always be like, I think that's the flop. Like, I had no idea what I was doing.
I can play poker. The area I always got a little confused with was like proper like betting, like who bets when at times. Like that used to get a little trippy with me. Like when betting ends, like how many times can it get raised, whatnot.
Yeah, I get all that. The only thing I've ever struggled with is poker is like when it gets to the high, like the upper echelon of hands, what beats what. But other than that, I mean, I know.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward though.
Also, don't ever play poker in a casino. It's the fastest way to lose your money.
Oh yeah.
That seems like a very quick way to lose your
We
money.
should have a poker night though. You guys want to hit? I could set up the basement again and be like 20 years ago.
I would gladly do a poker night.
I do a poker night.
I will do it. I'm just going to have to like buy a book on how to play poker so I have any idea what I'm doing.
No, Joe, don't worry about it.
Guys, $50 buy-in. Joe leads.
It's always the one guy who has no idea what they're doing that ends up winning all the money. Always.
You know how many times I won, Joe, and I still don't know how to play?
The thing about a game like poker too is you're trying to apply logic to someone. If someone who doesn't know how to play, there's no logic to what they're doing at times. So like you can't predict their moves. You know what I mean? Like, cause they're not playing on the same thinking train that you're playing. So it makes it really tricky. But anyways, right at this point, as Jake ends up winning this hand, Alan walks in. He's like, "What the hell's going on here?" And Jake's like, "You said hell. Throw $1 in the pot." And then like he's like, "Hey, we all had to." So all the guys in this poker thing have been contributing to the swear jar, as you know, they've been around Jake. And Alan's like, "Hey Charlie, can I speak with you privately, please?" And the two walk off. We cut to them on the porch, and like Alan's going off. It's like, "What's wrong with you? Are you insane? Like, do you have any sense of right and wrong?" He's like, "Probably not. How is dinner?" He's like, "How can you put Jake in a poker game with grown men?" He's like, "I obviously can't be trusted. How is dinner?" He's like, "I leave you alone a couple of hours." He's like, "I'm going to keep asking, Alan." He's like, "Dinner was swell. We both had the veal piccata and she's gay." The way he delivered the line, I didn't know that it was like the delivery of the episode. Like I was dying the way he did it.
And like a perfect dry Charlie delivery immediately after.
The audacity to yell at him for how he's raising his kid when he's doing him a favor by watching his kid piss me off.
That's the thing too. Like I get like there are certain things you don't want to like overexpose kids to, but also like you just ran into his house on a whim. I'm assuming this is like a planned poker night he has with his buddies. So like nothing was going to change the fact that that was his plan. Like, did you want him to cancel his plans?
Yeah, there's no way that like Jake showed up and he was like, "I'm going to call my buddies and do poker tonight while we've got this 10-year-old here." Like he's trying to adapt.
Yeah. Like what can I do with the kid tonight? Yeah. When, after Alan says that, Charlie's response was, "Wow, most chicks won't eat veal." That was actually like the title of the original pilot, was like "Most chicks won't eat veal."
I've never had veal before.
Good.
Love veal.
If I've had it, I don't remember it.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a veal parm, like we've had many a parm conversation. I had a veal parm.
Chicken parm or nothing.
I'm with Ferg on this one. The only parm is chicken parm.
That's such a dumb, closed-minded way to look at it.
Yeah.
That's a delicious way to look at it.
I'm sorry, Rose got to my mind and super glued it shut.
But you guys have no one's even ate veal?
I
I've
have.
had veal before. I don't love it.
I have like a weird moral thing with it. Like I'm okay with meats, right? Like I'm fine with that. But just like what veal is just, it doesn't seem necessary. Like I'm sure, okay, it's great, but it doesn't seem necessary.
I'll say this. I'm going to take the ethics side aside for a moment. It is weird how much it does not taste anything like beef.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
It tastes very, very different.
Tastes like baby cow tears.
Is that it? Does the tears tenderize the meat in a different way?
Yeah, it's like Kobe beef.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't like to listen. I get it. It's not great in that regard, but it's tasty. The two of them are talking on the porch still, and he's getting mad at Charlie for like making jokes and stuff. He's like, "I'm just trying to lighten up the mood a little bit." He's like, "I don't need you to lighten up. The world I live in is dark. It's dark and rainy, and you're useless in it." He's like, "Oh, I'm useless? Like, was I useless when you needed a place to stay?" He's like, "Well, obviously that was a mistake." And Alan walks inside. We cut to later, and now Charlie's just like sitting at his piano playing a song when Jake walks out. So I think we're getting like, again, more vibe for, we know that he wrote a jingle. So, you know, apparently he's a musician by trade.
I think that's a smart little thing to throw in. Like he plays music. Otherwise, it's weird if he's just like Uncle Jesse writing jingles. You have like 3 seasons of him playing in bands. So it makes sense for him to do that transition.
Charlie must be doing this to just, you know, maybe that's how he gets rid of stress or whatever, but like he's just playing, it's late at night, he's just kind of playing by himself. Jake walks out. He's like, "Oh, what's going on? Can't sleep?" He's like, "No." He's like, "My dad says we're moving to grandma's tomorrow." He's like, "Yeah, that'd keep me up too. If it makes you feel better, you won $80 on that last hand." Like, I thought it was 85. 80, the house gets a cut.
He gave himself a very reasonable cut.
That's what I thought too. I was like, he only took $5 out of that. It's pretty nice.
He's also rich and probably didn't take any money from his nephew, but whatever.
That's true too. Yeah, well, it was a learning moment though.
Actually, I think the joke should have actually been how much money he made off the swear jar.
Yes, I was surprised they didn't go that way.
They could have easily been like, oh, and you got like $85 in the swear jar too in one night. Not bad.
Could have been what they gambled with.
Jake saying, I wish my dad was as cool as you. And to be fair, even though him and his brother are fresh off of a fight, he does defend his brother to Jake, which is an admirable move. Like, it's good on Charlie here. He's like, oh, don't like sell your dad short. He loves you more than anything in the world. You know that. And then Jake saying like, well, why don't you have any kids? It's like, I don't know, maybe because I love me more than anything in this world.
Very introspective.
Yeah. Honest reflection.
Yeah.
For a simple sitcom, like pairing of lines, that is like many layers deep.
Yeah.
There's a lot to that.
An onion, if you will.
Jake saying, Uncle Charlie, like, I don't want to go to grandma's. I'd rather stay here. Like, well, your dad knows what's best for you. Like, all right, well, good night, Uncle Charlie. I love you. And he like goes and gives him a big hug. And like, you could just see like on Charlie's face, like, you know, he's really bonded with his nephew over this like last weekend, and he doesn't want to see him go either now.
Yeah.
To give the kids some credit too here, this is like the most realistic like little kid hug ever.
Yeah.
We're like, it's so touching because you're like, it doesn't feel like acting. It feels like that's the kind of hug a little kid gives you. And you're like, oh my God, that's so fucking touching.
And then like we must do like a little bit of a time jump, and Charlie's in the room and like in his room again with the girl from the beginning of the episode, Laura. They're like, you know, about to hook up. And he's just talking about Jake. He's like, you got to love that kid. He's like, I even played him Stairway to Heaven, and he still liked that Maple Loop song better. Like, Charlie, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. You finally got the house back to yourself, and now all you want to do is talk about your nephew. Do you or do you not want to have sex? He's like, sex, definitely sex.
I don't think we touched on this earlier, but I feel like we were remiss if we didn't bring it up. Thoughts on Stairway to Heaven? Because it comes up twice in the episode. I think that's a very overrated song. I think Led Zeppelin fucking honks. That's just me. What do you guys think?
I don't like any Led Zeppelin song.
I'm not like
Yeah.
a Led Zeppelin fan, really, but I would still say overrated. We think of like context of the time and like what kind of song and like whatever that is. Like, I think it's where it's at for a reason. I don't think I think it's rated almost appropriately. I wouldn't say overrated. It's just not my thing.
My only Led Zeppelin song is I only like When the Levee Breaks.
I will say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like,
Opening chord's really nice.
it's iconic, but not my favorite.
Yeah, and it just for whatever reason, I just never really listened to them much either. Like,
Yeah.
They're one of the biggest rock bands that I've listened to the least. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like even just awareness of their catalog.
Yeah, for me, if you're going to do like this stealing blues and make a rock and roll thing, like I'd 1,000% listen to the Stones. But I do
Yeah.
not like Led Zeppelin.
I don't know, like I said, they're all right.
Yeah, look at that. We're all kind of on the same page with something with music, which
I know it's a
never
rare-
happens.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Okay, we all like The Offspring and dislike Led Zeppelin. The most fucking weird, disparate sentence of all
Clearly,
time.
yeah, clearly we're a cultured group. So the two are now laying in bed and they start kissing. And Charlie's like, let me ask you something. Do you ever think about having kids? And she's like, whoa, hold on. She's like, this is just like, you know,
Wrong time.
we got a good thing going. Like, you know, I don't ruin it. Like, I thought we were just going to have sex. And she's like taking off. And George is heading back to like get dressed or whatever. Like, he kind of scared her there. Like, what are you doing? Like, how am I supposed to have sex while your biological clock is going off?
To be fair, that's a dangerous moment. If you're in a sexual situation with somebody and they're thinking about having kids, then like,
Yeah, nope, out of there.
It's pretty easy to get primal.
I'm not pulling out.
Yeah, that's the thing we were all trying to skirt around saying, Ferg.
Oh, that's too raunchy, but everything else we've said in this episode is okay.
Yeah, no, I can see why she's, especially in that moment too. Like, I think they had their relationship, even from earlier on, looked like it was primarily sexual. And, you know, she's not looking at this as anything that's meant to be serious. So when he's talking about kids, she's like, you know what? I better go get dressed. And, you know, she heads to the bathroom and the phone rings. And when the answering machine goes off this time, we hear again, "Hey, monkey man, I was just thinking about you and wondering why we hurt each other so much." So Charlie picks the phone up. He goes, "Rose, it's me, monkey man." "Charlie? Yeah, listen, I gotta ask you a question. Is there something inherently wrong with asking women you're involved with if she wants kids?" She goes, "Oh, Charlie, we got a good thing going on. Why would you want to mess it up?" And she hangs up on him.
The writing is so fucking stupidly good at this. I also love too his inflection, the way he says, "It's me, monkey man." Like he takes a beat before he says it. Like there's a comma and a pause, and it's really fucking funny.
Next scene, we're cutting to Charlie and Alan, and they're at their mom's place. And when I saw the mom's place, Nick, you mentioned earlier, the mom's loaded. Clearly, you can see that. I felt like this is what Charlie's house should look like. Like her house looks like more modern and like that of like a single guy that age. And his is the one that has like bookshelves and wood and stuff like that. Like it was almost like they're living in each other's homes.
She's an interior designer. You don't know that yet.
Also, if you're like a big art collector, that's your whole thing, right? Is you just these giant paintings. You don't want things to detract from it.
It's like he's got a bunch of money, a big house on the beach, and then they play poker in the kitchen. And there's also like a living room in the kitchen. I don't know. This house is a really weird setup, even for a sitcom.
I guess so. If he's like a Jimmy Buffett beach bum type of guy too, where like it's not about the possessions, it's about the hanging out.
Yeah, true.
I mean, sometimes when you look through like Airbnbs though, and you see some of like those like beachfront type of properties, you see that open layout and kind of unconventional things because they're just kind of, it's more a little free flowy.
See Pee-wee's house?
Pee-wee Herman's house?
Yeah.
No, the other Pee-wee.
He lived on the beach. He has a similar house, like the whole like setup, big wide open area.
Imagine if Pee-wee's house. Imagine if you were like looking through Airbnb and that was like a place you could stay. That or like Ernest's house.
That would be the best.
It's not the Playhouse. Don't get too excited.
But Globy.
Sherry, no.
I am the world. R.I.P. Pee-wee. You gave us so much.
R.I.P. Pee-wee.
We have Charlie and Alan, and they're walking through like their mom's like living room area. Charlie's like, "How bad is it?" You know what I mean? Like, cause like he obviously hates his mom, and well, they don't have a great relationship. And he's like, "Well, I'm only gonna be here for a little bit anyways until like we get things worked out with Judith." And he's like, "Well, I was thinking like you've been here a couple weeks, you've got to have blood in your stool by now. I thought maybe you and Jake would want to come back to my place for a while, if that'd be okay." Like, wait a minute, are you saying you want me to come back and live with you? He's like, "Well, truthfully, no, I want Jake to come back, but I figure you're a package deal."
He's so earnest in saying that too.
I like that we know that's really what he means too. Like, it's played off like a joke, but it's not a joke. That he really does just want Jake back.
Yeah.
He's like, "Thanks, but we're fine with mom. Come on, we can't let Jake be exposed to her on any kind of ongoing basis." Like, there's no ongoing basis. He's only here on the weekends. He's like, "That's too much." They say piranhas can strip an entire cow in an hour.
That's the fucking weirdest analogy because I just thought about it for so long after the episode. Like, has that happened? Did like a cow fall into a river?
How many piranhas?
Yeah, like the math of it is just like, I just kept thinking of the equation.
Never one piranha. It's like a swarm.
Yeah, it's like a swarm. They swarm.
Yeah, but is that 10? Is that 20? Is that 30? Like, what's the ratio to strip one cow in 1 hour? What's the exact math on this?
And was it purposely done? Did they dip a cow in? Was the cow alive? Was the cow dead?
I mean, cows cross rivers. I will Google it. Based on historical accounts from President Theodore Roosevelt, it would likely take a very large school of piranhas to strip a cow in a short amount of time, possibly within minutes.
And they travel in groups of 20 to 100.
That's a big gap.
It is a big gap.
Also, no offense, it's 2025. Are we really going on what Teddy Roosevelt said 100 years ago?
Roosevelt's account might have involved special circumstances. The piranhas he witnessed were likely trapped and starving, which would lead to a frenzy of feeding, not typical of their usual behavior.
So Charlie's going on. He's like, "Look what happened to us." And then the mom walks in. "What exactly did happen to you guys?" He's like, "Charlie, you're a grown man. Perhaps it's time to stop blaming your mother for your own shortcomings." And then, like, as she's doing that, she's also like reprimanding the two for sitting down. Like, "Charlie, get off the couch." People like jump up. As that happens, Jake walks out. He's like in a sweater and stuff. And he's like, Uncle Charlie. And like, I think as he's going to try to run over to his uncle, gets intercepted by his grandma who like bear hugs him. Like, that's my good boy.
Well done.
She holds him so fucking tight.
Yeah.
What's crazy is Jake's a pretty decent child actor, and I've never seen a child actor regress more than this kid as he gets older. He just becomes a worse actor.
It's true. It is interesting to think about because he does get worse.
I mean, like, obviously that's a story for another day, but I also think he became more and more checked out as the show went on. And just,
Yeah, I think his exact quote was like, "This is filth," and I was being tricked into doing
I
filth or
believe he
whatever.
apologized for some of those comments he made, but like, I think, yeah,
Yeah, he made all those comments and then still came back for the payday in the finale, so couldn't have bothered him that much.
I mean, that's a tough thing too. You don't want to judge somebody for like things they do when they're 17 because every one of us did stupid shit when they were 17. I mean, like, that's just like what you do as a kid. And like the kid from Home Improvement, right? Like, didn't he like end up marrying some woman who was like way older than him around that same time and like get emancipated? And like a bunch of weirdness happened there too.
Brad killed someone.
No, he didn't kill somebody. He almost died. It was when they were driving through the newly built housing project in Fast and Furious 3.
I knew you were going there.
You can't mention that dude without me bringing it up. I'm sorry.
So during this bear hug between the grandma and Jake, he goes, Grandma, I'm suffocating. And then Charlie looks over at his brother. He goes, sound familiar? He's like, you're right. This has to end. And then Charlie holds up like a fake rock. He's like, here, I got you your own key.
That button on this episode is so fucking stupid and so fucking perfect.
Yeah.
They're great with those.
And I thought it was a good sight gag. So now we get to like the final scene, and it's the three of them all like food shopping together at the supermarket. And Alan's going like, I'm not really comfortable with this. Like, I think I should wait in the car. You cannot wait in the car. He's like, trust me, this is a great way to meet women. He's like, I don't want to meet women. I'm still married. He's like, come on, your wife's out meeting chicks. Why can't you? So now they're around the corner, and you see Jake holding a box of cereal, and he's singing that Maple Loop song again. And there's this blonde girl, like, you know, kind of like right where that other girl was the last time they were in the supermarket. He goes, oh, your son is just adorable. Now I was like, oh, thank you. Then she goes, you and your partner must be so proud, and walks off. And Charlie goes, yeah, you're right. Go wait in the car.
Personally, I would have ended the show with the rock joke, but
Me
this was
too.
fine.
Yeah.
It would have been a great button because it does end it like in a really fun, like round out way. But for a final scene like this, I thought this was another quick, fun, like it didn't hurt it. Like sometimes you see them go a little too extra. I think what the show does right, and now we can talk a little free now that we kind of like ended the episode here, is it's funny. It's consistently funny without going for over the top goofy jokes. You know what I mean? There's plenty of jokes throughout the whole episode, but it's never like dumb, obvious, like get it? Like it's not like that. It's just smart, fun humor the whole way across.
We talk about pacing a lot, and I think this show is paced near perfectly.
Yeah, definitely.
I would just say I would have put this scene in the next episode, in the middle of the episode, where he's like, come on, buddy, we gotta meet some girls. I know what we can do. Get Jake. Right? Like you use it for that. I think The Rock is just the better way to end it.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you would have had to extend another scene a little bit to like get that other 30 seconds to a minute or whatever this was.
But also don't forget to, this is the pilot, right? You have to establish the story. And now that Charlie has invited them back to the house, you're establishing the plot to the show, right? It's them living together after all this shit has happened to Alan and stuff like that. So
yeah, we don't always need origin stories, and we've gone back and forth a million times with this over different shows. But I do think this show did a really good job of establishing how did we get here? Why did this happen? Why did Charlie allow it? Because obviously if you watch any other episode isolated, you know, and you just watch it at random, you see how different they are and what an inconvenience this could be to Charlie. And you think like, why would he even want his brother and nephew living here? But when you see this and it makes sense though. You know what I mean? You saw him go through it and then lose them and wish they were still there. So it does a good job of like kind of answering these questions that you would have otherwise. With all that being said, I think we've kind of already talked for quite a good amount of time on this episode. So we might as well jump right into the green light or cancel. Gordo, starting with you.
Green light.
That it?
Yeah, no, it was a good show. It's a good show. It was like the actors are great. Did we even mention the time of the episode? I don't think so.
It was like a classic 22-minute. Like it was right in that standard wheelhouse.
I think 23 I tracked it as.
Yeah, didn't feel that way. Paced right along. I don't know. It just almost flawless. I have nothing bad to say about this show. Green light.
Nick.
Yeah. We have seen plenty of shows with a great cast fail, right? And I feel like this show could have gone that way had it not been for Chuck Lorre. Just conceptually, this show like kind of lives on the edge of, I don't want to say unoriginal, but maybe just kind of a lazy plot, but it's executed so perfectly that you can that's not a problem. And I think that comes from his experience with sitcoms. He just knows how to make one. This has a classic sitcom feel to it, and everything is great. Like we talked about, the pacing was fantastic, the acting great, writing felt really good, the jokes were where they needed to be and not where they shouldn't be. And there's just, I don't know, I didn't think it was going to go this way when I picked the show, but Gordo touched on it. It's a pretty perfect sitcom, and I could only think of, I can't even tell you which show it was, but I can only think of maybe 2 other shows that I would have considered a perfect sitcom, but this is absolutely one of them. So it's a very easy green light.
I'll jump in on the middle. I'm with you guys. The green light for me. This is a show I've definitely seen a good amount of over time. Never like watched it week to week, but like right here, like I have no complaints with this episode. I thought it was really fun. It's funny too because we said the lengthwise, like it's standard sitcom. It's not a long episode by any means. I didn't clock watch, but I also feel like a ton happens in it. You know what I mean? Like
it felt longer in a good way.
Yeah.
It's a dense 22 minutes, but it doesn't drag. There's a lot of content here. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was, the chemistry with everyone was great. Knowing what I know about the future of the show a little bit, and like knowing like when the maid enters and like the show gets a little more fun. It's a good watch. I touched on it earlier. I think it's one of those shows that maybe just kind of had a great run and it just didn't know when to pull the plug, and it just it ran a little too long. And I'm sure plenty of you like the Ashton era, but like maybe that would have just been a nice spin-off for Alan's character and just kind of call it something new down the road. But with that said, that's nothing to do with this episode. Green light for me. Ferg.
Yeah, I don't have much to say that hasn't already been said. Green light for me. The perfect sitcom. I don't even have anything to nitpick with this one. Just an awesome veteran cast of like A-list actors and a veteran sitcom creator, and it's just everything fit together perfectly. Every joke they made had a payoff. Generally funny and sweet. Like I love every character's relationship. And you touched on it when we were covering it. It's like any character you meet, you instantly get them, and you get introduced to a good amount of characters on this show, and you really got an idea of every one of their personalities. It was just nice. I watched this originally. I'll probably watch it again, to be honest, because now it's going to be in my continue watching section till I finish it. So, green light.
Joe.
Yeah, this is a capital S sitcom, right? It's funny people, it's funny writing, it's well directed, it's well thought out. It makes sense that this went 200 something episodes, right? Where a lot of shows don't really do this now. And this may have been kind of towards the end of that happening. And you think of this show probably ended around the same time as like The Office did, and this started before it, I think just a little bit, right? Like that's like the end of these sort of shows. I usually like the Chuck Lorre stuff. And even thinking with you guys saying about the Ashton thing, I thought Mom was such a great show. And that really changed its, like by the end of it, it wasn't really about the mom anymore. It was about the mom's mom. You mean like it just changed what it was about, and the characters sort of changed, and there was people who left the show, and it still really worked. I think the writing is just that good. Charlie Sheen's been making me laugh since I was like 6 when I first saw Men at Work. I genuinely enjoyed this. I think I'll probably add this to our list of things to watch, and I don't think I ever would have thought that. I just don't think this ever would have been a thing I'd start to watch without the show. So green light.
Well, with that being said, that is a perfect 5 out of 5. So congratulations to 2.5 Men. You do get the green light from us. I want to thank all of you guys for listening. A quick reminder again, Peacock if you want to watch 2.5 Men. If you want to follow us along, go to S1E1pod.com. That's where you can find all the links to our social media, anywhere where you can listen to us. our merch site, all that stuff. So go over there, shoot us a message. We like talking to you guys. Let us know shows you want us to cover. But with all that in mind, we'll catch you again next week with another new episode. So just thank you for that. Till next week, thank you. Goodbye.
I think we got the best cop and a half.
Oh, we got the best piranhas.